Okay, so it's the first Monday and we are going to do some baking every Monday. I have the iPad propped up with a thing of sugar. I've got my able helper and not very professional filming, but we are going to make some vegan chocolate cookies. Now, they don't have to be vegan. Anything that we're using like vegan butter or soy milk and stuff like that, you don't have to use. You can substitute all of it for normal stuff and they still make really good cookies. Okay, you move your pillow. So, we're going to start by putting 112 grams, and the reason it's such weird measurements is because it's actually quite a really good American recipe, and they tend to use cups all the time. But we're not going to use cups, we're going to use grams, just because that's what we're used to. So we're going to have 112 grams. So, all right, we've got some scales.
Why did you not tell them about this?
About what?
That.
I've told, that's the recipe, we've got that. So, we're going to make sure we've got the right unit on our grams. We don't want fluid ounces. So 112 grams.
Of vegan butter.
Of vegan butter. Yeah. And as I say, you can put normal butter or Stork or margarine or anything for these. It doesn't have to be this. That's 140 or 113. That'll do. So we're going to put that out of the way. Then we're going to add some light brown muscovado sugar. Now on the recipe it actually says 100 grams of white and 100 grams of brown. But we found that we're just going to do 200 grams of this. It makes a nice recipe. But again, you don't have to use it. You can do a little bit of white, a little bit of brown. So that's 200 grams of sugar.
So we needed all of that.
What?
So we needed all of that.
Yeah, so that's, we need 200 grams. So, keep measuring, keep measuring, keep measuring, a little bit more. Okay, perfect. Now, you will notice when we're doing these channels, these recipes, we are not big on healthy cooking in our house. So they're going to be cookies and we're going to be doing a crumble topping. I'm going to show you how to make meringues and custard using 2 eggs. So it's all things that we kind of do at home as well.
You told me.
I told you that, yeah, I know.
How do you make eggs?
We'll talk about making eggs. So we now need, and we've got an electric whisk like this. Okay, you can do it with a wooden spoon, but either way, it doesn't matter. We tend to find that this is a bit easier, so it's going to be noisy now. Okay, ready? Oh, try to turn the plug on, that normally helps. Okay, just going to mix that together. Just in a normal plastic bowl, mix it up a little bit. Give it a mix. Keep mixing. Okay, that'll do. Remember, don't lift your mixer up while it's still going, because you get cake mix all over the place. Now what we're going to do next, we're going to add a little tiny bit of vanilla. So this is where we normally squeeze too hard and too much comes out. That'll do. That'll do. Go on a bit more. That'll do. Perfect. I'm going to mix that in as well. Just a little bit. Okay. Perfecto. Okay.
That maybe got some on. Maybe that got something on my arm.
That's okay.
Okay.
So,
I just wanted to see.
what did we do?
Should we move out of the way?
Oh yeah, let's move out of the way.
Because they could see that.
Yeah. What did we do before we started cooking? Oh, you're going to have to wash your hands again because you've just coughed into them. But we washed our hands, didn't we? You go and wash your hands again, and I'm going to talk about the oven. Go and wash your hands. The oven goes on at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 Celsius. So I'm going to do that. Oven is on. Helper is washing hands. So what we do now is we put it, again, it's supposed to be 1 cup, but it's 125 grams of just normal plain flour. So I'm going to zero my scales. Then we're going to put 125 grams. Looking good. a tiny bit too much in, so I'm going to take a tiny bit out.
I'm talking about if you put so much in, take it out.
Yeah. So that's looking pretty good. So, once you've done that, you also need a bit of cocoa powder. So just normal cocoa powder, and it always says sifting, but I never bother sifting in. I just chuck it in and hope for the best. We need, it says 2/3 of a cup, which again is American, but it's 56 grams, which is quite a specific
Can we use
amount.
this one?
We can use that in a minute, yeah. So we need 56 grams.
Actually, can we use this one? Can we use this one?
In a minute, yeah.
Wait, for that?
Not for this, no. We're just going to throw this in straight from the tub. We need that in a minute for some milk, because we need to put a bit of milk in. So that's good. So we've got the cocoa powder in. Then we need a bit of bicarbonate of soda. So for bicarbonate of soda, we need 1 teaspoon, which is that the teaspoon one? Nope, that's half a tablespoon. So it's this one. So you can do that one.
What does this taste like?
It doesn't taste, it's yucky. You don't want to taste that. Oh, that's the timer saying that that's home learning ready to go. Turn that off. As you can see, they are not Jamie Oliver standard videos. So we also need, and bizarrely, we also need a little bit of salt. Now, we put salt in quite a bit of our sort of sweet baking because it tends to make it quite flavoursome. So I've washed my hands, so I'm going to put just a little pinch. It's supposed to be 1/4 teaspoon. Any left over, put it over your shoulder. And then, so that's all of the dry stuff. So once we've done, it says to mix it in by hand until it's crumbly, but I'm going to start it off with my mixer. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit so we don't get a face full of cocoa powder.
Like I did?
Yeah.
Oh, this looks yummy, doesn't it?
It does look yummy. So we're going to keep mixing.
Eat it like this.
No, don't eat it like this. Sorry, that's the cable of my electric whisk getting into the video. So we're going to keep whisking.
Yeah.
And so we're going to tuck it behind.
Oh,
That's right, don't
now
worry.
it's coming.
It's okay.
I'm only going.
Okay, so you end up with, if I can show you, almost like a breadcrumby type mixture. Okay, so we get breadcrumbs, and then what we need to do is we need to add 1 tablespoon of soy milk. Now again, if you're not bothered about them being vegan, they're not gluten-free, they're just vegan. If you're not bothered about that, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're going to have some because we have got some. What have you got? You've got the 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, so if you want to use that one,
Do we have?
we need 2 of them. Okay, so you hold.
And I'll pour it in. Don't put too much for me.
Okay, pour it in. The next one. Well done, pour it in. Good stuff. That's it. Give it a tap tap, and we'll chuck that in the washing up.
That's good.
That's good.
That
I'm
was
going to give that
good
another
for
whisk. Thanks. So I'm going to give that another whisk.
What does it taste like?
Okay, so once you've done that, it says add the chocolate chunks. Now again, if it's going to be vegan, they should be dark chocolate chunks with no milk content. And again, look, we tend to use quite a bit of dark chocolate, so we're going to have a couple of this. And again, we're going to do it very scientifically with lots of handfuls. So,
Ask.
yeah,
They can have 1 or 2
1 or 2, yeah,
to eat.
to eat. You can have some bonus ones to eat. So throw in some, oh, hang on, let me put the scales. We'll have about 100 grams of this. Wait a minute, wait. Okay, go on, throw them in. So, keep going. And don't forget the hands are clean, all safe. And another one, keep going.
Oh, there's
Lost it, don't matter, don't worry, we'll get that one in a minute.
we can get that.
Throw them in. That's it, next one.
How big? This big?
Yeah, keep going. I reckon that's probably, is that enough? What are we up, 97, 98, 99, one more. Put one more, not one more handful, just one more chocolate chip. Just one more.
Okay. 1 more.
Another one. One more. Perfect, 100 grams.
Now I get to have some.
Go on then.
2. I
2.
get to have 2.
You can have 2.
Ah,
Yum. The
yummy.
perks of baking. So we're going to give that a mix as well. Just make sure that the chocolate chunks are nicely mixed in. Okay, that's good. And then what we've got as well is we've got a baking tray.
Yeah.
That's lined with greaseproof paper. And we're just going to now roll them up into small balls. So again, this is where, because you've got your, because you washed your hands, it's fine that you're going to make
You don't roll them up.
little clumps together.
You have to make... You don't roll them up like this.
Like that?
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we make a little, so it looks like that. Okay, and we're just going to put them on the baking tray.
Wait, it doesn't work to me.
Just squeeze them. Hang on, don't roll them with your hands. Just get a bit in your hand and just squeeze together. Quite a messy one, this one. But they do come out looking really lovely. So we're going to put another one over there. That's it, squeeze together.
I get to eat one. Okay?
No, not yet.
Why? Only a little bit. Can I just eat one? Because it might taste nice.
We'll see in a minute. So,
That bit for me.
we'll save that for later. So, just while I'm just doing that, just as a recap, so you've got your recipe. It was 112 grams of butter, and it can be vegan butter like the Stork block. It's 200 grams of sugar. We use light brown muscovado. We'll do it in a minute. We've got some vanilla extract. We've got 125 grams of plain flour, 56 grams of cocoa powder, a teaspoon of bicarb, a quarter teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of soy milk, but again, if you don't want bother about being vegan, you don't have to use that, and then 100 grams of dark chocolate chunks. So they will then go in the oven for about 10 minutes until the edges are firm and they're quite soft in the middle, so they're a good cookie to make, and then you'll end up with amazing vegan chocolate cookies. Okay, so next week we're going to use 2 eggs and we're going to make some...
Can I just eat this?
Yes, you can. We're going to make some custard and some meringue. Okay?
That tastes nice.
Good. So, see you next Monday. Ooh, chocolate fingers. Bye.